how much of your income should you be investing to retire with $1,000,000? Every 2 weeks, you get a paycheck and you have a choice. You can choose to spend it on food, groceries, alcohol, car lease payment, or you can choose to put a part of that aside and save it for your future retirement. Now, obviously, you know the effect of compound interest, how useful that is, and if you do it early, then you can potentially retire a lot faster. So the question is, well, how much do you need to save to reach your goal? And what is the minimum amount you need to save? Because if you save too much, then you're really sacrificing the present day, the instant gratification in your mind, instead of delayed gratification. If you save too little, you might not reach your goal. And when it comes to savings, it's really about consistency. And once you put a plan in place, you might as well just set up an auto deposit or auto transfer or something that happens every month, so you don't need to worry about it. So the question is, what is the minimum you want to save from your income to have $1,000,000 when you're 65? So let's start with the most basic scenario. If you are 20 years old, how much do you need to save in order to be a millionaire when you're 65? And for this scenario, I'm not assuming you're using any advanced strategies, so you're not doing options, you're not using any special ETFs, you're just doing an S&P 500 ETF that gets you 7% per year. Okay, so it's very straightforward. I put the return here 7%, and let's say you save $500 each month. In 45 years, down here, you'll be at 1.7 million. So you save 500 each month and you just put it in an S&P 500 index fund. So that will already make you a millionaire and then some. And you need to do this very consistently every single month. Now, of course, we're looking for the minimum amount you want to save, right? So technically, you can probably get away with like $300 each month. And in 45 years, you will be exactly at 1.02 million. One of the things you want to consider is that 1 million today and 1 million 45 years from now actually makes a big difference. But nevertheless, that is the goal for this video. Now, what happens if you are 30 years old? And by that time, I think you have saved up a good portion of money. So I'm going to assume your starting balance is closer to 50,000. And if you just save 500 a month as well and put it into an index fund, then in 35 years, approximately 35 years, you'll be at $1 million in terms of portfolio value. So again, all you have to do is to aim for this $500 a month target with your 50,000 to start, then you'll be at a pretty good shape. Now, what happens if you are 40 and you're starting with $50,000? Then at this point, you need to save more, obviously. So $1,000 a month. So if you go to the 25-year mark, that's when you're 65, then you'll be at $1 million in terms of portfolio value. So this is a little bit tougher. You know, you need to take care of your family, and on top of that, saving $1,000 a month. And this assumes that you do not use any special strategies at all, and just 7% year after year on average. Now, what if you're 50 years old and you're starting with $50,000? Now, at this point, you need to be a lot more aggressive in terms of savings in order to reach your $1 million goal. So the number you're looking for is $3,000 a month. So if you go down, then you'll be able to reach $1 million in 15 years with $3,000 a month saved, starting with $50,000 a month. Now, if you're using a more advanced strategy, like 30% return, then of course you'll get there a lot faster. But for this video, we're focusing on 7% return. Now, what if you are 60 years old? Now, for 60 years old, at that point, you're not really getting that much of a compounding effect, and you probably have a balance that is a lot higher than 50,000. So then I can try to play around with the calculator to show you, but it's going to look very unrealistic. So for example, you might need to save 10,000 a month. And at 60, you're planning to retire within 5 years. So this will still not get you to that $1 million goal. So if you go with around 15,000 a month, then that's when you would hit your $1 million goal within 5 years. So when you think about it, how many people in America and Canada can really save 15,000 a month when you are 60 years old? I would say not very many people. So from these examples, you can see that if you're looking to retire and be a millionaire per se, you need to save at least $500 to $1,000 a month. So that is really a brief analysis on how much you need to save a month in order to get to retirement. And I think for most people, if you're aiming for $500 to $1,000 a month, I think you're already doing a really good job. So then the rest is just whether you want to actually manage your own portfolio and try to get a higher return, or you feel like you're not going to worry about it. Just put it in the index fund so then you can focus your energy on something else. So for example, maybe there is a business you want to start. Maybe there's a book you want to write, and you want to be doing that as well. So the question is really, how much involvement do you want to put into your investments and get your money working for you? And once you have a plan in place, then you would let it set in motion and go from there. And for most people, I think you probably want 50 to 70% of your portfolio in index funds, where it is just very passive. You're spending an hour a year on investing, and you have 20% of your portfolio where you can aim for something more aggressive. Now, this assumes that you have a very solid investing strategy, you know what you're doing, and you're able to generate a higher than 10% return. So if you're getting like 12, 11, 10% return, then probably you're better off sticking with index funds. If you're able to aim for 20, 30% return, then yes, I think it makes sense to manage your own portfolio because you'll be accelerating 2 to 3 times faster than the average. So that's pretty much it for this video. So let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you in the next one.